in the ethics, there are certain things which I'm going to share. So let's start this ethics session. Okay. So wait. Okay. What is ethics? Okay. What is this paper? If you will see, ethics is generally a static paper. We use current affairs. We definitely use current affairs, but ethics is one such paper where if you prepare once, then your uh, job is done. Then you don't have to worry about anything, because once you read some content, once you make your own notes or some short notes, then your work is done. Okay. So if you want to score very good marks, and in this year mark sheet, if you have seen, some students got 160 marks. So it is not going to be the similar for the next year. Next year there is a possibility that the highest marks could be in the range of 120. But yes, in this paper, every year you will see that some student get very good marks. Then how to get the good marks? Okay. So first is the content. If you will see this point, content. So what is the content? I have seen it. Those who are not getting very good marks in ethics, they do not work on the content. They don't prepare the content, and it is the biggest mistake. They think that okay, I will write my own definition, I will write my own example in the examination hall. You don't you will not be able to write anything, because in theory part I have seen, if you have not prepared, initially it looks very simple, that okay, if they'll ask question what is integrity and how can it be used in civil services, you might feel that okay, I will write it, because in ethics questions looks very simple, but unless you know it, it becomes very difficult. So never commit this mistake. Content we have to prepare. I have mentioned one term, usable knowledge. Content means usable knowledge. Some people start collecting lot of content, they start preparing for multiple source, in the end they get nothing. Whatever knowledge you have, whatever content you have, it has to be usable one, means you are going to use that in the examination. So what is that? So what is that? Content means you must know the basic definitions. If you do not know the basic definition of simple terms, trust me, it becomes difficult to produce the definition. And please do not try to make your own definition. You are not Gautam Buddha, you are not a writer, you are preparing for civil services examination. Someone has mentioned those definition, someone has given the standard definition to those terms. So use those standard definitions. Always use standard definition. Do not try to write your own definition. Okay. So there is a PDF on SOMP channel. You will find it. Mug up the basic definition. Second thing, in the content, you have to see that okay, if there are some similar terms, like there is one term integrity, another is probity. There are similar. These are similar type of terms, but the definition differ. So if you know the standard definition, then you know that okay, definition is different. Point number one. Second thing, you get to know that okay, the concept is also very different. It's not that it is very similar concept. For example, there are three terms: sympathy, empathy, compassion. Okay, if you don't know the standard definition, then you might write the similar thing for all these three terms. So what is sympathy, and what is empathy, and what is compassion? Those who have prepared content on ethics, they might know. So sympathy is only the feeling that suppose you are there is a question that you are uh, DM of Pune and there is flood, or DM of Hyderabad and there is flood. So a sympathetic person, a DM is thinking, oh, it's bad, it should not have happened with them, but you are okay. Then you start your own life, you are working on office, you don't care, you don't care about them. Then empathy is, you feel for their, you feel as if that happened with you. You are feeling the pain of that person by assuming yourself in that position, that had I been in that position, then what would have been my condition? So sympathy is only hurt. Empathy is more about mind plus hurt. Then comes third term, compassion. Compassion means mind plus hurt as well as action. So as a DM, you are like, okay, whatever has happened by the nature or climate change, I don't care, but I want to save human lives. And you are on the field. You are working 24 into 7 to save the human lives, to help them. So that is compassion. And if you don't know the difference, then there is a possibility in sympathy you might quote the example of DM going in the field. That is not there. So that is my first point. Second point, diversity of knowledge. And ethics is not limited to ethics. What happens sometimes, we think that ethics syllabus is limited to ethics, and whatever ethical knowledge, whatever ethical points you have generated, only that you can write. And here you commit the biggest mistake, because generally in ethics we do not have the large content with us, very limited one. And you will find that whatever you have mentioned in question number 1, you are writing the same point in question number 2, then you are writing the same point in question number 3, and you know it what you are doing, but you don't know the way out. So you have to use that diverse knowledge. And from where that diverse knowledge will come, that will come from your GS preparation. Okay, suppose uh, in IR you are preparing some example, you read some good news, uh, for example, Thailand issue, where soccer players were trapped. So in IR you read that, but in ethics you can use it. Today I have shared one article of Indian Express of Ch- Chile. Okay, so in Chile, uh, for the first time, people are going to get the constitution for themselves. You can use that in ethics. Okay, you can certainly use that in ethics. So you have to learn how to use, because in IR we are going to use that example very differently, but in ethics we are going to use that thing very differently. So Chile example, it is a very good example of constitution. So if you are using that in GS2, you will use in terms of the constitution. In ethics, you will use it for the humanity, human rights, equality. So if you know the terms, if you know the definition part, then you know that how to use such things in the examination. So diversified knowledge will certainly help. You are reading Environment Protection Act, you can certainly use it in ethics, and I will tell you that how to use it. You can use, but what happens, we are limited to ethics, our mind is very much limited, and in that limited capacity we are not able to open the dimensions. And multi-dimension answer does not mean writing anything, it simply means writing content which can be used in that particular question. Okay, then comes the third point, and this third point is examples. In ethics you need example. There are three kind of answer writing style. Okay, so I have seen uh, wait, I have seen three kind of answer writing style. So what is this three? One is the content. Some people write only content, they do not write the example. So if there is a question on definition of integrity, They are writing about integrity. Integrity is this, integrity is that. Then second person, there is another one who is only giving example. He is not writing the content. Even that is the wrong way. It is not right. And I have seen it. There is a question on integrity. Someone started with Mahatma Gandhi, that look how he has helped the India. He was having the highest level of integrity, this, that. Then there comes a third thing. And this third is really beautiful and you must use it. Content plus example. And I have shared one copy with you. We don't write example at one place. We don't write content at one place. So how we write it? Okay. Uh, I will take one example of a similar type of question, but how we write. So we write like this: content, example, then content, then example. We don't write like, okay, first only content, then only example in a same question. It is not the right way to do it. This is wrong. The best way to do it is this particular method. We'll use this. Okay. Uh, then comes the role of presentation skills. Presentation skills are very important. And generally in ethics and essay, we say that presentation skills plays a major role. If your presentation is good and if you are writing the relevant content, then it is likely that you will get very good marks. So in the presentation skills, I will keep on sharing some good copies and I have shared it. Yeah, here there is one controversial thing, and that controversial thing in presentation skill is flow chart. Okay, flow charts. Flow charts, and in ethics answer, I have seen that people have made some flow charts, and here also things vary. Uh, there are some student who make flow chart for a particular question. Okay, that suppose question number one, there is one flow chart. It's fine. In 2, 3, 4, 5, he or she is not making any flow chart. There are second number of candidate. Flow chart in each and every question. It is a wrong method. Then there is a third kind of candidate. Flow chart in every page. In every page. It is blunder. Okay. It is blunder, biggest blunder. Another blunder, fourth kind of candidate, making flow chart in introduction or in conclusion. And in some of your answer, I have seen it. While ending the question, you are making the flow chart. It is the worst thing to do. Worst thing to do. Never do it. We don't make any flow chart in the introduction. We don't make any flow chart in the conclusion. So this basic mistake you should not commit. Otherwise, you will see the outcome of this in your real exam. Okay. Then fourth thing, yes, those who have appeared once in the mains, they know the value of timing. Generally in GS 1, 2, 3, we can manage our time question wise. We can divide our time. In ethics, it becomes very problematic because there are 6 case studies and there are 8 questions. Okay, UPSC say 8, but it's not 8. It's around 14. So 14 plus 6, again 20. But case study takes time because you have to think, you have to produce some solution, and even those who are weak in theory part, those who are weak in theory part, they take time to produce the theory. So how to improve the speed in, especially in ethics? Number one, number one point, having the content. Okay, if you have the content, then it is likely you will take less time in preparing the in writing the content. If you don't have it, and if you have decided that in the examination hall only uh, I will write about uh, my own definition, or I'll produce the example, then you will be in trouble. Second is your answer writing style. Okay, so this presentation skill, it becomes very important. There is a standard procedure. By practicing you will learn it, that how to present it, how to prepare the content. Once you have done it, then I'm sure then that you will not take much time in the examination hall. Then another very important thing, that is example. Okay, so what happens when we hear some toppers talk, and they are like, I have produced my own personalized example, as if they were Gautam Buddha or Mahatma Gandhi. I'm not against that. Okay, I'm not against the personal example. But when you clear the exam and you are only emphasizing on that, that becomes problematic. How it becomes problem for you, let me tell you. Suppose there is a question of integrity, and you are working in some government department, and really you had done something good in your department. You had done something really good, but when you are going to express yourself, you are going to waste a lot of words. And when I'm saying wasting, you have to write paragraphs just to express what you are trying to say. That sir I was working, that sir I was working in the in that particular section. I saw some people, they were indulging in wrong practices, so I made this plan, I did this. Because when we write our own story, if someone allow you to write your no, own story, you will not end. It is just the start, because we praise ourselves more. But if you have the universal examples, suppose Kiran Bedi, you know the example, and you find that example and you can write it in 2 to 3 lines. So first benefit is you are saving some space. Second benefit is you don't have to think much. You know those 3 lines and you are writing it. That's it. That's it. Are you getting my point? So examples, I would always suggest universal examples are very helpful. And there is a catch here, okay? And that catch is universal. You cannot write any example which is not known. There might exist some officer in some area, and you think that he's a superstar, but examiner might not know about that particular person. Then it becomes subjective whether to give marks or not, because examiner is not going to Google anything for you. If you are thinking that he'll check on Google and then he'll praise, he's not going to do it. So try to collect universal example, and you will collect it. There is no problem, because every day in newspaper somewhere. And again, if you find it very difficult to collect the universal example, then there is a website, Better India. betterindia.com. Okay, on that you will find lot of positive stories, so you can collect your examples from there. And first time I'm using all these technologies, so at times it becomes difficult to write. Okay, so we have talked about it, and then let's move. So yes, so in ethics we have two sides. One is theory, second is case study. uh, some people mistake this thing, that because of course, thanks to the topper talk, that case study part. My case study part was very strong, and at times we think that only by doing case studies you are going to get very good marks. It is not going to there. Case study comes later. Okay, it is not the first part. Your first part, your first part is the theory part. So you have to focus on the theory, and those who have very good command on theory, generally generally they are eventually they eventually become very good in case study part, because in case study part you are going to use lot of knowledge of your theory part. Lot of terms you are going to use: accountability, transparency, probability. Okay, so first is theory part. So please do not commit this mistake that I will prepare case study only and I'll handle theory. I have committed this mistake. So please do not ever commit this mistake. You have to be very strong in your theory part. Uh, yeah, so this is a thing. Okay. Benefit of preparing ethics effectively. Look, generally, you have to devote like 5 to 6 days to prepare the content. For other GS papers, you are going to devote a lot of time to prepare that. But in ethics, 5 6 days are sufficient. Those who are writing the mains. Others can do some courses where 1 or 2 months they are spending on that, but you do not have the liberty. So stick to one source. If you have prepared from anywhere, it is good. Stick to that. Main challenge is of answer writing. Main challenge eh, uh, cannot be of content. And at times I have seen that some students have done some class somewhere. They have spent like some good amount and 1 month there, and when it comes to answer writing they are not able to write answer. So they think, sir, let me join some other class, or sir, let me read another material. You don't need that. You have to learn that how to apply your knowledge. That is required, because in ethics answer writing is very crucial and it is tough. Not the content making. Content you can keep on making, but if you don't know, if you don't know that how to write the answer, then trust me, you can prepare ethics for 5 months or 1 year. You will find yourself in the same place where you were. Okay. So application part in ethics, application part is very important. And once you have learned it, that once you know that, okay, how to write the answers, then trust me, you know the structure, you know the content. Even in the middle of the night, someone can give you a question and you know that how to write it. You give me any question. So there are only two papers where you get this liberty. One is ethics, second is essay. No another paper gives you this much liberty. That once you are thorough with that, you can write anytime. So please keep this thing in your mind. And of course, knowledge of ethics we use in essay, because there are a lot of things which we are going to read in ethics. So we are certainly going to use those things in essay, and especially nowadays there is a fear of this philosophical essay. So once you have very good command over theory part, then there is no issue, because you can use that particular knowledge in the essay. And okay, so let me take one question. Okay, there are two actually. So this question number one, and we call such questions as quote based questions. Okay, so these are the quotation based questions. So in the exam, they'll give you some quote and they'll ask you to write that we can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. Okay. If I'll say that when you see such questions, then you think it is very simple. It is very simple to write, and I will write it. But the moment you start writing after one paragraph, you don't know where to go. You don't know what to write. Okay. So let me elaborate that what we can do in this particular question. Uh, Hmm. Okay, so there are, if you can read this question, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. So first is the introduction. So in such question, in introduction, you have to define, you have to write that what you understood by this question. Unless you write it, then I think it is not a very good start. So you have to write that what you meant, uh, that according to you, what you understood from this particular quote. So let's read this quote again. We can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. Okay. So so first thing is introduction. So introduction, you have to write what you understand by this particular thing. Then I told you one strategy, that how we write the theory part. So first part is the, so let me take that. Okay, if this is the page one, okay, suppose this is your page one. So this is your question and then introduction, then content, example, content, example. So in one page, two paragraph of content, two paragraph of example. Example generally of 2 to 3 lines only, not more than that. Hardly 3 lines, not more than that. Okay. Same for the second page. If we'll say that this is our let's say that this is our second page, content, example, content, example, conclusion. Okay, so this is a standard presentation method which we can use. So so this is how we are going to move. If you read this question again, we can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of strong. Okay. So in this, this is part A. This is part B. Generally, if you will see that, if you'll read some answer on this question, you will find that there is only positive side mentioned by the aspirants. That yes, we can never forgive. It is the attribute of the strong. So they are giving only positive example, positive side, this and that. That would be very incomplete answer. You have to write for both of them, that there was a person, Hitler. He was weak. He was very weak. So he didn't have that habit of forgiveness. But there is a person of like Gautam Buddha, Jaina, Ashoka, Swami Vivekananda. They were strong and they had the attribute of forgiveness. So please keep this thing in your mind. Generally in exam, when we read the question, we write only one side. But here you have to produce both the side. Another thing, that only example will not help. Okay. So in the introduction itself, in the intro, we mentioned that what we meant by that particular. Then in the content, when we are going to write, and suppose in your head there is a person. Okay, let me give you one more concept. Sometimes we have the content but we don't have the example. Sometimes we have the example but we don't have the content. Suppose in this question I have the example Hitler in my mind but I don't have the content. So according to example we make the content. So Hitler was weak, right? So I'll make the so I have one example in front of me, and I'll make the content. So in so here when when I will be writing content, so I'll make this content according to Hitler. So we will write the attribute of weak person, that how can't they forgive, and sometimes their actions lead to mass violence, distraction, they threaten the human peace. So I'll use some terms of theory part. Okay, so I will discuss about it, that weakness is not a strength. Our consciousness, our conscious if I'll say decision making power becomes ineffective. It is not effective. We don't know, we don't think about the consequences, and sometimes in the heat of the moment we take some action where we could have forgiven. So like this, we make the content one paragraph, and then we give the example, that see the example of Hitler. So are you getting it? If you have the content, then look for the example. At times we have the content, someone has the content, that okay, world peace, humanity, so they think that okay, let me find a person. Okay, so Hitler, Kim Jong Un, and when we are thinking about a strong person, so we'll write about them. And here's if you are getting this example, this question in the real exam, and in your head you had that feeling that I'll quote my personal life example, don't you think it will become very difficult for you to write that example? You have to think that whether I'm weak or not. And some people commit this mistake, some student, uh, I would say not mistake, I would say blunder, again a big blunder. They quote the negative side of their life, that yes, once in my life I could have forgiven that person, but I didn't, because I was weak. You are not supposed to show your weakness in the examination hall. You are not supposed to show your weaknesses to the examiner. Are you getting it? Okay, so I think this session on the case study part will take another session, and I'll wrap it up with the theory part till now. And definitely we will solve this case study in another session, and we'll talk about it.